Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. It will be another busy week with Prince Harry scheduled to appear on both ITV in the UK and 60 Minutes in the States on Sunday, and we can expect the usual advanced clips. From ITV promoting their programme, Harry, the Interview, Prince Harry has said the royal family have shown absolutely no willingness to reconcile with him and Meghan Markle. Harry told Tom Bradby he wanted to get his father back and to have his brother back, and that it didn't have to be this way, and that he wants a family, not an institution. CBS also shared a clip from 60 Minutes. Harry tells Anderson Cooper, "Every single time I've tried to do it privately, there have been briefings and leakings and plantings of stories against me and my wife. You know, the family motto is never complain, never explain, but it's just a motto." Cooper said, "There's a lot of complaining and a lot of explaining being done through leaks." Harry adds, "They will feed or have a conversation with the correspondent, and that correspondent will literally be spoon-fed information and write the story. And at the bottom of it, they will say that they've reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment, but the whole story is Buckingham Palace commenting. So when you're being told for the last 6 years, we can't put a statement out to protect you, but you do it for other members of the family, there becomes a point where silence is betrayal." The publicity is to support Harry's long-awaited memoir, Spare, which will be released next week. An insider told the Sunday Times, "Generally, I think the book will be worse for them than the royal family is expecting. Everything is laid bare. Charles comes out of it better than I had expected, but it's tough on William in particular, and even Kate gets a bit of broadside. There are these minute details and a description of the fight between the brothers. I personally can't see how Harry and William will be able to reconcile after this. The overall impression is that this is a man who has never recovered from the trauma of his mother dying so young. And then along comes Meghan, and he projects onto her a parallel with Diana." Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams told Mail Online, "It's not a question as to whether Harry has a right to release his memoir. It is whether it is helpful to the royal family, which he is part of, and also surely whether it will benefit the Sussexes in their desire for a philanthropic image. Since they derive their work from being royals, shouldn't they be supportive? If there's been no rewriting after the Queen's death, perhaps there should have been. Why write a raw and unflinchingly honest memoir now, so early in his father's reign, if not for the commercial gain?" The Daily Mail reminds us Prince Harry is said to have received a $20 million advance for Spare. A previous statement from Penguin Random House said he would donate some of the proceeds to charity, including $1.5 million to Centrebal, which supports vulnerable children and young people in Lesotho and Botswana affected by HIV/AIDS, and $300,000 to WellChild, which makes it possible for children and young people with complex health needs to be cared for at home instead of hospital wherever possible. The press release for the book says, "For Harry, this is his story at last, with its raw, unflinching honesty. Spare is a landmark publication full of insight, revelation, self-examination, and hard-won wisdom about the eternal power of love over grief. 20 million minus 1.5 million minus 300,000 is $18.2 million. Palace Intrigue will be right back. The Sun has revealed Prince William secretly took Kate on a James Bond-style Aston Martin test drive. The story is unclear as to whether this just happened or if it happened years ago, but it's fun to think about it regardless. An insider said, "The delivery of the car was an operation worthy of the Secret Service in itself. It was very hush-hush. But he was spotted behind the wheel, buzzing around the tight and winding country lanes of North Norfolk. It is not a coincidence the car was the one that was built in Wales by Welsh workers. William had the Aston for the whole weekend. He got to experience life like James Bond for a few days. The only difference is, unlike 007, William had to hand the car back at the end of the weekend. Coincidentally, in the James Bond movie Spectre, it turns out James Bond's biggest enemy was his brother." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. I'm Mark Francis. Many thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.
All right, here's the pitch. 5 stories, they're all good news. It's called 5 Good News Stories. No negative news, just good news. Nice, easy way to start your day. Hopefully a smile. Hi, I'm Johnny Mack, host of 5 Good News Stories. You get the premise? There's 5 stories, and they're all good news. It's the number 5 good news stories. 5 good news stories. Follow the show wherever you get your podcasts.